suppose competition's pretty good dinner time, isn't it?
Oh, hey guys, welcome back to the channel and another episode of A Week in the Life of Chip. Why don't you guys ever sit and join me? Today we're going to be talking about something interesting that I think a lot of you guys didn't know is for X amount of money, what cars can you buy? And you guys are going to be shocked with some of the options that you guys have, but looking forward to blowing your mind on this episode. Okay, Amit, what's your number on the car? Bro? Is done. Alright, sure. Congratulations on your purchase, brother. Nice.
Your first radio interview.
Yeah, technically my first one, and I'm glad it's my first because you guys are one of my favorite stations.
Amazing.
Okay guys, so I've been wanting to do this episode for a very long time because you'll know on all my videos I'm always talking about car values, investments, etc. So maybe I'm like you, maybe I'm not like you, but at night before I fall asleep, I'm always looking on Gumtree, I'm always looking on Facebook Marketplace, I'm always looking on Auto Trader, and I dream, my lottery dream garage. And something always pops up, and I get fascinated the way cars change value, and also I get fascinated by certain cars holding a higher value than other cars. So I thought it'll be cool for me to do an episode like this, so you guys also get an understanding as to where the car market is going, and we can also have a discussion as to why the car market is going that way. So in order to get a good understanding, I decided to go to Auto Trader and do a selection on the following cars. So I chose BMW M3, I chose BMW M4, BMW M5, BMW M2, and then I thought to myself, okay, cool, that is the in cars now. Let's compare it to a Porsche 911, let's compare it to Aston Martins, let's compare it to Ferraris, let's compare it to Maseratis, and of course the infamous Nissan GT-R, which is the R35. So when I actually clicked on searched, I filtered price low to high, and I was surprised at my first option that came up. So the first car that pops up is a 1985 Maserati bi-turbo 425. Very cool classic car, not very valuable in South Africa. Reventon Auto has got the car marked for 159,000. Now remember guys, Maserati is an Italian car. 1985, it's a classic car. It's got all the bells and whistles. You can buy this car for 159,900 Rand, and it's got 70,000 on the clock. Now if we scroll down, the second car that comes up is a 2008 E92 BMW M3. So 459,000, you can buy a Maserati. For 259,000, you can buy a Maserati and have change for fuel to put in your Maserati, or you can choose to buy a BMW M3. So when looking at this now gives me an indication of where we headed in terms of this episode. Now we go to the next car. A car that is climbing in value, which I recommend you buy if you can at this point in time, is an E46 M3. E46 M3 prices are going through the roof. This example, for example, is 299,700, which is almost double the price of a Maserati, and your mileage is 175,782. Now, this is a manual example. Majority of the time, the manuals are the better E46 M3s to buy purely because the SMG gearbox has got a bad reputation. Let's go down to the next one. We've got a 2005 Maserati Quattroporta. Sure, that was a hectic pronunciation. But a 2005 Maserati, that word, 4-door. 79,000 on the clock. Way better car, more technologies, got an insane motor. That car is selling for 299,800 Rand. Let's go a little bit down and let's go to your price range of around 350,000 Rand. We've got a 2007 Maserati Quattroporte, and we've got a 2008 BMW M3 convertible auto. Your Maserati's got 96,000 on the clock, and your BMW M3 has got 106,000 on the clock, and it's a cabrio. So the price of a E92 M3 is the price of a 2007 Maserati. Which car would you have? Which car would you prefer? Now, obviously being in the car industry, you try and do research and understand. So part of the reason why a Maserati could cost less than a BMW M3 is your maintenance cost, it's your fuel cost. So could that be a contributing factor as to why the BMW M3 is more valuable than a Maserati? I don't know. In my opinion, I think it is one of the reasons. Another reason also could be Maserati is an import car. So let's say, for argument's sake, if you need to service or repair the car or get parts, I think it would be more difficult to get Maserati parts, more expensive to get Maserati parts, as opposed to a E92 M3. So that's in our 350,000 Rand. Now we come to another exciting part, which is a Porsche. So for the same money, or almost the same money as a E92 M3, you can get yourself a 2003 Porsche 911 Carrera 996 actually. That's the series of it. Which car would you prefer owning? Would you prefer spending 370,000 on a Porsche, or would you prefer spending 350,000 on an E92 M3? I don't know what I would take, but the way I see the market is that your BMW will appreciate more in future as compared to your Porsche, which is weird because Porsche has always been highly collectible cars. Let's up the budget a bit, guys. The next example I'm going to show you guys is an example that I actually posed with my friends. So I sent a screenshot of the Porsche for $399, the 1999 Porsche 911 Carrera 4996, beautiful car. I've seen this car in person, it is absolutely stunning. And then you look at the 2008 BMW M3, which is also a stunning car. So for the price of a BMW M3, you can get a Carrera 4996. How insane is that, guys? So for Porsche, for BMW money, you can buy a Porsche. And again, it makes me wonder as to, is it the fact that the generations have changed and what we as South Africans are exposed to in terms of what's cool and what's not cool? Is that a contributing factor as to why a Porsche would not appreciate aggressively as a BMW M3? Maybe. Could it be the maintenance costs? Could it be the fact that a Porsche is seen more as a weekend car as opposed to your M3, which you could almost daily? Could it also be the fuel price? I don't know, but we'll get to that in a minute. Let's up the budget. Let's see for around 600,000 what we can get. So I'm going to move over to page 2, and I want to show you guys. Actually, let's look at this, guys. A 2013 M5 you can buy for 410,000. That's insane. You can buy a Porsche for 400,000. Then we got obviously the classic and collectible 1992 BMW M5, beautiful car. But again, you could buy the Maserati and you could buy an M3 for the price of the classic BMW M5. So that tells us that the classic BMW market is strong and the cars are appreciating. Whether this car is selling or not, I don't know. But ultimately, these prices are what the market is dictating that these cars should sell for. Let's go to another example, right? We've got the 2001 BMW M5. I remember BMW had this advert. I love this advert. I love this car. I'd like to add it one day in my collection. So it's the E39 M5. And I remember at the time when BMW had the advert, BMW used to brag, and they said it's the fastest production saloon car on the planet, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if we can find that advert because it was such a cool advert. So for the price of a E90 2010 BMW M3, you could buy yourself a E39 M5. Which would you go for, the M3 or the M5? Let's up our budget to about 600,000. Let's go to page 3. This is going to shock you guys, right? Here we have a 2002 Porsche 911 Carrera. Then we have a 2001 Maserati for 499,000. But what's going to blow your mind is that we have a 1993 BMW M3 E36 for the same price as a Porsche or a Maserati. Which would you choose? Let's go up a bit. I hope you guys enjoying this exercise because I like comparing and I like dreaming which is the better car. Now let's blow your mind a bit, right? So the E36 M3 is 500,000 Rand. That is what the market is telling us. At 549,000 Rand, you can buy yourself a 2009 Aston Martin Vantage V8, which is the beginner in the Aston Martin range, which only has 92,800 kilometers. What's the difference between an Aston Martin? What's the difference between the M3 in terms of fuel, maintenance, being able to use the car more often? I know that the Aston Martin clutches or repairing the clutches on the auto gearbox is super expensive. I know the services are more expensive, and these cars tend to have less mileage because you don't really daily them. So what would you buy? Would you buy an E36 M3 or would you buy an Aston Martin? Interesting question. Comment below. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Now I want to show you guys something else. We've got a BMW M2 Coupe with 117,000 on the clock, 2017 model. Later model, there is 15,000 Rand more than the Aston Martin. How insane is that? And just to show you guys, we got more Maseratis for 579,000. There is another BMW M3 for 579,000, another Maserati. There's a nice Carrera 4S for 595,000. Now we come to the interesting part, which is the F80 M3. F80 M3 2015, 125,000 on the clock, 599,000 Rand, right? Then you get a 2004 Porsche 911 Carrera 4S, which is the 996 series. They call this Porsche, a lot of people didn't like this Porsche purely because of the headlights. They call it the egg-style headlights. I like it. If you see this Porsche on bags, it looks insane with the sick wheel. I'd also love to own one day. But now you get caught in the middle. For this amount of money, do you buy an F80 M3 or do you buy a 2004 Porsche? Two totally different cars, two totally different feelings when you drive it. Which would you guys prefer? Now we come to another interesting part, and I love this. 2015 BMW M4 Coupe Auto, 2007 Aston Martin Vantage. 64,000 on the Aston Martin. It's a earlier year model, less mileage. M4 has got 102,000. It's a later model. Which would you guys prefer? So yeah, guys, I'm blown away by the car prices, but I'm building up to something that's going to blow your mind. So we're now around the 600,000 mark, and the 600,000 mark you can get yourself a nice 911, 997 Porsche. You can get yourself a nice Aston Martin Vantage. For a little bit more money, you can also get the M4, the M2, you can get the M5. Now we come to one of the top dogs, which is the Nissan GTR. There's one on Auto Trader for around 639,000. So for, call it 650K, you can buy a Nissan GTR, which is a supercar eater, right? You can buy yourself a M4, a M2, the F80 M3, you can buy yourself the M5, you can buy yourself a Aston Martin, a Maserati, or you can buy yourself a 996 or a 997 Porsche. But that's not what is going to blow your mind, because there has to be a classic car element in there somewhere. So I think let's run it up to about $1 million. Let's see for $1 million, what can we buy? Now we come to an interesting part where we talk Ferrari money. So for 959,000 Rand, you could buy yourself a 1985 Ferrari Mondial Cabriolet with 64,000 on the clock. In the 950 and million rand, you could buy yourself a 2019 M2 competition with 36,000 on the clock. You could go for a M4 competition, a M3 competition. So once you touch the 900 to a million, you're putting yourself in the BMW competition range. Then we come to another classic Porsche, which I absolutely love, which is the 996 Turbo. Beautiful car, 969,000 with 36,000 on the clock. It's an absolutely amazing car. So that's an option as well. I want to show you guys something else. So now we've touched the million rand mark. So for a million rand, you have plenty of options to play with in terms of Porsche, Maserati, Aston Martin, the BMW stable. Now I'm going to blow your guys' mind. Last week, there was a BMW E12 535 that popped up for 900,000 rand, guys. This is a M535. It's a numbered car. Apparently, the car hasn't had much work. It's still completely original. And if I'm not mistaken, when I looked at the ad again, the ad said pending. I'm not sure if the car is sold or not. But at 900,000 rand, I think it's the highest that the 535 has ever sold for. 900,000 rand, guys. 900,000 rand. You're talking M3 competition, you're talking M4 competition, you're talking M5 competition, you're talking Porsche 2012 Porsche 911 Carrera Coupe for R1 million. You're talking Aston Martin, you're talking Ferrari money. It's insane. Look at the way the car market is going. I mean, there's even, look at this, two BMW M3s, 1994 BMW M3 Coupe. The one's got 84,000 on the clock, the other one's got 60,000 on the clock. They both marked at R1 million. So an E36 M3 is selling for R1 million. E12 535 is selling for R1 million. These are collector cars and cars that will only go up and appreciate in value because of their scarcity and the demand. But in the same breath, you can buy yourself a Porsche, guys. You can buy yourself a Porsche, a 2012 Porsche with low mileage, which, again, can you use the car daily? Because if you're going to spend R1 million on a 535, if you're going to spend R1 million on an M3, if you're going to spend R1 million on an IS, because that's what an IS costs to buy today, it's Porsche money, it's Maserati money. I can't get over it. And there's something I mentioned previously on my videos as well, is that the muscle car market, there's a few Mustangs in the market, there's a few C10s in the market that are sitting for very long. Those cars are not selling. Part and parcel of the reason why those cars don't sell easily could be also the fuel price. It could also be the generations. So the generations that have the buying power are people like me and few generations or one or two generations after or before me. And we never really grew up with muscle cars. We grew up with the VR6, we grew up with the E36 M3, we grew up with the IS, the RXIs. That was our cars that we aimed that we would like to own one day. And could that be a reason as to why the car values have climbed up? I don't know, I'm just guessing. But in my mind, that is part and parcel of why the car values have increased. Now, there was a 333 that popped up for sale as well. The 333 popped up for sale and was marked at 1.3 million rand. At 1.3 million rand, let me put it into perspective. You can buy yourself a Maserati, you can buy yourself a E46 M3, you can buy yourself a E92 M3. That is the amount of money that 1.3 million, or that is what 1.3 million can buy you. You can even buy yourself two supercars. You can buy yourself a Maserati and a Porsche, or Aston Martin and a Porsche. What would you have in your collection? And it's such a weird thing because I look at car values continuously. I do appraisals for insurance companies as well. Where is the market headed? Do you guys maybe think that the market is going to peak and then crash? Or do you think it's going to continuously grow? Personally, I think the classic BMW market is going to grow insane, purely because as long as we have a desire for these type of cars, as long as we see these cars more in music videos and celebrities owning these cars, the generations that are watching are going to aspire to want to own. So for example, I have a lot of young followers, 10-year-olds, 15-year-olds, Uncle Chip, I want the E30 like yours, etc., etc. So I personally believe that we have another 10 to 15 years, maybe even 20 years, maybe even longer, where these cars are going to increase in value and they're going to peak and they're going to stay there. So my advice to you is buy. If you want to get into an IS, either buy the next best thing and build it, or buy it because your investment is going to double. If you want to buy an E30, I mean, there was an E30 that was posted up for 450,000 Rand. 450,000 Rand for a 3 to 5 E30, guys. That is the price of an E92 M3. That is the price of a Maserati. That is the price of an E46 M3. So do you go and buy the E30, or do you go and buy the E46 M3, which is also going to appreciate in value in future to come? However, your maintenance cost is much more. So I enjoy talking about this topic. I enjoy debating with my friends. I enjoy debating with people, and I enjoy talking with you guys. I hope it shed some light, and I hope it's gotten you to understand where the car market is headed and why these cars are so desirable. So I hope you learned something as well. And once again, thank you guys for watching, subscribing. I hope you enjoyed a week in the life of Chip, because this is just something that I always wanted to do. I wanted to talk about car values and put it into perspective to show you guys where these cars are headed in terms of investment value. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and another episode of A Week in the Life of Chip. So today we're going to do something a little bit different. I've got some special guests all the way from KZN, and they came specially to come and make offers on some of the cars in the workshop. So I'm going to go around quickly and ask the gents to introduce themselves, and also I want them to tell us a little bit about why they love an E30, right?
I'm Ashley Studio, and then I'm from Durban, obviously, well known in Durban for Forex. So this is my friend Andile, and my other friends Mshengi and Skamza. So I told Andile about Chicanos. I saw a video on YouTube.
Okay.
The blue CS.
Yes.
Yeah. So the moment I saw that video on YouTube, I sent it to him. I said, "Hey, listen, there's a place there called Chicanos. I always see it on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
Let's go there."
Nice.
Well, I've seen a lot.
Nice.
Let's just go there and see this for ourselves.
Nice.
Yeah. So we came all the way, and then we came just in time. And we got to see everything, and we're still blown away. We don't even know what to pick. We're making offers on clients' cars. We're making offers on cars that belong to the shop.
Yeah.
It's too much. It's so much. Like, guys, if you get time, just come and see the shop. If you got an E30, if you want to build an E30, definitely bring it here. You'll get your value for money.
So guys, we're busy making a deal here on the blue CS E30. I make you live on YouTube here, né? Okay.
For the red one.
Blue one.
What do you think, Sene? Right?
You can negotiate. I'm gonna put him on loudspeaker, right? What's your number on the car? Can we go a little bit less?
How much is a little bit?
Let's just make it. And then you
20.
close the deal. We'll have
It's
to meet
also
up for
fine.
that.
We meet
Okay.
each other halfway.
Deal is done. Bro? Deal is done. Alright, sharp. Okay, 100. Lekker. Thanks, bro. Okay, bye. Okay, so block out the numbers, nah?
Yeah.
So when we talk
Yeah.
about the figure, block
I'll
out the
just
number. Yeah, 'cause you know people will be, hey, then it's on.
Yeah, no.
Hey, is gonna come audit you. Then it's okay, sharp. So guys, we just sold CS E30. And this is the lucky gentleman. You guys might know him, you might not know him, but I know him. And I wanted to actually ask, is he really the person that I think he is? But I didn't want to be a groupie. So tell everyone who you are.
Basically, my name is Andile Mpisane, which you guys know that. I came in here and I wanted a 330, so I made an offer, and as I made an offer with my luck, I got the car.
Nice. Congratulations. It was meant for you, bro.
Yeah.
It was meant for you.
Yeah, guys, please subscribe to the channel. If you want to learn about E30s, you'll learn a lot from this guy. I've learned a lot from just 2 or 3 videos that I've watched. Like, I didn't know about aluminium panels, I didn't know about M-Tech, I didn't know about Evo 2. So if I didn't watch the channel, I would have got scammed somewhere. So yeah, make sure you subscribe, guys. Hit the like button and share.
If you heard it from the legends themselves. So if you haven't subscribed, bruh, come on, man. You can't be a car person and you haven't subscribed to Chicanos Customs. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll chat to you guys soon. Congratulations on your purchase, brother. Nice. Yeah. The car has got a new motor. It's only got about 600 Ks.
Sure.
So it must still be driven for 400 Ks. And then we need to retune the car. So it's going to have more power. It's running dictator.
I should have 400 Ks. That's a brand new car. Yo.
And can you hear how I can got a performance cam and bigger pistons and the head is gas closed.
I watch it too.
You guys are going to be coming with me through to the 5FM studios, and we are going to be doing an interview on my love and my passion for cars.
But hey, it's the 5 Weekend Breakfast team. 17 minutes past 7. I am super excited. As you guys know by now, because I mean we've been doing the show for like a month, I'm a bit clueless when it comes to cars, right? Yeah. But excuse me, hi. How are we doing?
We're doing well.
It's very early in the morning for violence.
I want
So
you to
much
be
shade.
honest with the people. A bit clueless. You need to be.
Yeah, they pretend like they love you, but then they don't. It just is how it is. I've got Tariq Musa in the building with us. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Good morning. Thanks for having me, guys. It's such an honor.
We're excited to have you.
I'm
It's
just
absolutely
excited.
amazing. Your first radio interview.
Yeah, technically my first one, and I'm glad it's my first because you guys are one of my favorite stations. Without a doubt.
Amazing.
Ah, you see, this is what we do at 5, man. It's beautiful moments like these. So you collect and sell classic cars, right? When did this start?
So it started at the young age of 16.
No ways.
Yeah, I got my first car at the age of 16.
Okay.
It was a very problematic old school blue Mini that I loved to death. To give you an idea of how problematic it was, I could only drive a certain amount of kilometers because the car would overheat.
No
So I'd
ways.
have to fill fuel and I'd have to drive with a 2-liter bottle with water.
Yo.
So I always tell people that story because it's quite funny because you gotta remember where you start and where you come from, you know. But
Oh
yeah.
my gosh, I would be so frustrated. Imagine, like, you have to stop on the side of the road. So you those people
Yeah.
with the bonnet
Bonnet
out.
open, with the shades
Gotta
on,
cool down.
looking cool. The car got stuck. Hopefully at the time there was no girls around because you gotta get stuck when there's no
Oh,
girls or
yeah.
else they laugh
Hey.
at you.
Oh yeah, no, it's late for you. Believe me, you're not getting a first date nor a second date. Alright, so you got your first car at 16.
Yeah.
And then when do you start collecting these cars? When do you say, okay, I have the money, or probably I have the eye for like certain cars. I want to keep this one, I want to sell this one.
So I would say from my first car, and the reason why I say from my first car is because you learn about cars when you own a car. I've always had a passion for cars. I mean, I used to play with the Matchbox cars.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was fortunate enough to get an apprenticeship after matric to work at Nissan,
Okay.
and I qualified in trim and mechanical.
Sure.
And I learned about cars. I was a car guy, and as you go along your journey, you buy a car, you sell it, you buy another car, you fix it, you sell it, you make a little bit of money, and then you obviously build your collection. So it's been something that I've been doing throughout my life, and I've been learning. Currently I learn as well, you know, you don't know everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So what makes a classic car a classic car? I know it sounds like a stupid question, but there has to be something that obviously catches your eye for you to be like, this one is a
Yeah.
keeper.
So I actually had this conversation yesterday with someone. They asked me what makes a car a classic car, and for me I think it depends on the scarcity of the car, the production number, and also the heritage on the car. And I'll give you an example. So if you take the E30, the Kushesh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you had to say that.
I
Now
had
I
to.
know what you're
Yeah,
talking
I'm a
about.
Kushesh guy. I love Kusheshes. I grew up idolizing Kusheshes.
Yeah.
And for me, a Kushesh is a very collectible car purely because it represents a lot in terms of what it did for BMW, heritage, racing, and also what it did for the Kasi guys.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
And if you grew up in the Kasi, owning a Kushesh was like the thing.
Yeah.
You know, all the coolest guys had it. And those guys that had it always dressed the best.
And they got the girls.
Yes, definitely. My wife is listening. I love you, babe.
Just checking, eh?
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Yeah, this was before I met you, babe. Just by the
Side note. All right, we still got Tariq with us. If you've got any questions, 08255055151. But we're also trying to understand, are you into classic cars or not? First, we've got about 17 minutes still, and then we have to let Tariq go. I know it sucks, but hey man, people got places to be, things to do, but I know for sure that he's interested in hearing whether y'all are into classic cars or not, which is actually a very interesting question because I know for sure that hey Tariq man, I don't know my cars that well, no? But I was saying to the team that I actually would love to have like a classic car in the middle of my mansion one day.
Nice.
That would be dope, right?
Yeah. That's definitely a possibility. And I definitely come and visit you often.
Yes, please.
Without
Come
a
and help
doubt.
me with it. So
Yeah.
we make sure that it's actually the one and it's not like they rip me off.
100%.
Alright, so we've got a couple of questions for you. I'm actually excited to hear what people have to say. So wait, is it like that old Beetle? Like,
old Beetle.
The classic one.
Huggy.
Yes, that's all you had to say.
Yeah.
Okay, I would also get one.
Yeah, me too.
Make it pink.
Yeah. Pink with flowers.
Oh,
Yeah. That'll
he
be so
gets
cool.
me. Oh,
Tippy's so
man.
excited right now.
Give me more classic cars. We've got Yasmin also coming through. Sure. No, listen.
I
Wifey
did well.
came through.
Yeah,
This
no.
is why she's your wife. You better keep her.
No, I do. Going on 16 years, guys.
Sure.
Wow.
16 years.
That's beautiful.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah,
Come on. You
That's the
preached
secret.
it.
Preach,
Are you
brother,
taking
preach.
notes?
Alright, no.
I'm taking notes, guys. I'm taking notes.
All right, take it away. I don't know if you want us to replay the
Yeah, I
questions
think
again.
replay.
Yeah.
I think she needs like brownie points for that. Well done.
Dinner.
So favorite classic car, by all means, is an E30 325 IS, known as the Kushesh. I love that car. It's always been a dream car, purely because of what it represents in South Africa. You own an E30 325 IS, you're the coolest person. And coming from our background, we could never afford ISs or
Yeah.
E30s. So it's like a bucket list car to own. Every cool guy wants to own a E30, so that's my favorite classic car. Favorite non-classic car, which is my dream car, is a Lamborghini Diablo.
Sure.
Purely because the story behind how Lamborghini originated is the story of my life. If you guys don't know, Lamborghini used to build tractors
Okay.
and was very successful at it and decided to purchase a Ferrari. So the owner of Lamborghini went to the owner of Ferrari and asked him to improve on his clutching system on the car. And the owner of Ferrari basically told him to stick to building tractors. And that's the story of Lamborghini.
That is
So-
insane.
So he was like, I'm gonna design my own
I'm
cars,
going to
basically.
design my own supercar that's better than yours. And another fact about Lamborghini is that Lamborghinis are named after famous bulls. So you know bullfighting?
Yes.
So for me, Lamborghini heritage, what it represents, and also it's the coolest supercar on the road.
Yeah.
True
Just
that.
by the way. And my favorite car in my collection is the car I've owned the longest, known as my Queen Celeb GP. It's a E30 full convertible. It's got teal interior. It's been in 32 music videos. It's been on Netflix. It's been on a lot of commercials.
Sure.
My favorite car in my collection. And about my brand, sure, that's a tough one. So I'm a car guy. I love teaching people about cars. I love building cars. It's my passion. It's what I was born to do. And I'd like to take my brand globally. I'll tell you guys a bit about going globally. I'm attending a show in the UK called Gravity.
Sure.
But the cool thing is I'm building a car to take to the show.
Oh,
Amazing.
like from
So-
scratch?
Not from scratch. I had an option of 4 cars and I made my YouTube and social media followers choose the car. So it's an old school BMW E9 that I'm going to be doing and a little bit of touches on it. It's a very rare car. So
Sure.
I'm excited for that. That's going to put South Africa on the map and show the world what we have in terms of talent and capability. So I'm quite excited about that.
Tariq, sorry to jump in there. I actually want us to dive more into that. But
Yeah.
before we do, we have to quickly get to the ads and then get back into some music. Because I feel like there's still so much. I was supposed to let you go, but there's still so much. And your wife came through with James, so we have to get through all of these, all right?
E30s are appreciating aggressively. So if you want to own a Gushesh, the time is now.
Okay.
And then the other cars is Mercedes-Benz, like the W108, the 115, the 126s. Those are cars to buy now because their prices are relatively cheap. But I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an investment tip. So a BMW appreciates more aggressively than a Mercedes. A Mercedes is like a bottle of wine. It takes time to appreciate.
Sure.
So you know your investment return is not that aggressive on a Benz as compared to a Beamer. So that's the advice I would give you guys. Stay away. Muscle cars are cool, but they are dying breed. Like V8s, Pontiacs, Mustangs, cool cars, but people don't want them anymore. So yeah,
Which is weird because you think those are the ones that people would want to keep.
100%.
Yeah. That's insane. All right, wrapping up, any last words that you'd like to leave us with?
Guys, thank you so much for the opportunity. I listened to you guys. I got a shock now when I heard the news and I heard the report. You guys have been awesome. You made me feel comfortable. And for me, the biggest part is like I'm fortunate enough to do what I love and fulfill my passion. And I see it with you guys as well. And being in the room, the energy, the questions, the hospitality, thank you so much for giving us an opportunity. And shout out to the listeners, shout out to the wifey and all the car people. And to the lady with the voice note of your Beetle, I hope you get it. Awesome. Please send us pictures when you do. And thanks again for everything. You guys can find me on social media. My YouTube channel is Chicanos Customs. Please go watch it. I need it to grow so we can grow the car scene. And you guys can find me on Instagram. My stage name is Chip_Musa. Please go follow me and send me all your questions and get in contact if you need to know anything about cars. I promise you I don't charge. I charge for building cars, but I won't charge for information.
Oh, we love that so much. Thank you so much for coming through. It was absolutely amazing.
Thanks for having
I've
me.
learned so much about classic cars, and I think also, like you said, I might just save up for that Kusheshe. If the
Perfect.
time is now,
Yeah.
I might, even if I have to bribe someone, you know, just
Yeah.
like,
Hey.
yo, man, hit me with the young one there.